Man.
I got it again.
Woo-wee. This the one, OC. God dog. So, this the one. You know, me and the OC, a lot of people don't know this, but me and the OC are licensed ministers. So I'm gonna say something that's real. You know when you got one burning, you know what I'm saying? You know when it's real in your heart, you know? And when it's real, you know it. Like you know it when it's being cooked. And I'm telling everybody, this gonna probably be the realest show I've ever done with the OC. The realest show I've ever done with the OC for the Dallas Cowboys. And I've done a lot of shows, and the OC done a lot of shows. So we gonna do our best to really break this down, man, because it's a lot of stuff that people not seeing. And we gonna make it plain today. We gonna make the whole case. Because what we dealing with is Kellen Moore need to run outside the box. Shout out to Common Sense Lab for coming up with that name. Because on the cool, Kellen Moore is in a box. And that box play calling is a risk of us winning a championship. Okay? So we gonna break this down today, bro. We've been waiting on this day. We've been working hard for this day. Y'all sit back and chill. We gonna be right back. OC, you got something?
Man, look, man, just tune in. Don't forget to hit the like and the share button as you come into the building. Comment if you like the content. And follow us on all the platforms. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Follow me, the OC100, and BossCowboySports on Twitter. You can follow me, the OC100, on Twitter. But this is going to be a good one, guys. And we're going to give a lot of context and detail to the nature, the mindset of what's been happening in terms of the plays. And then where we go from here. So it should be a fun show. We'll be right back.
We definitely coming back with solutions. We'll be right back. Y'all sit back and chill. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Hey, boss and the OC in chat. What's up, Miss Lockhart? Daisy, I see you throwing up the flames.
Yoga fire.
Let's go. Let's go. All right, man. Let's get it. The show of the year coming up, man. I mean this too. Show of the year. All right, man. It's Boss Cowboy Sports, and we got the OC in the building, just not sitting down. Boy, that boy timing is perfect. Yeah,
there it
man.
is, baby. There it is. Yes, sir.
I know the feeling, bro. When you had to go get your last little swig.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
have to get this over this little sweater on, man. You know,
oh, the
cool
hoodie.
in the house.
The hoodie. Oh man, it's cool where I'm at too. So give me a second to get everything set up, y'all. Cause I gotta see y'all chat. Hey, I'm dead serious on this being the show of the year. Okay? I'm dead serious, I'm not playing on that. Alright, before we get into this, I wanna kinda show the context that this is real. And some people think we just be talking, OC, but we don't play. Alright, we dead serious when we talking about football. We take our ideas serious, we put in a lot of work. So remember, I said this on Twitter and it has the date on it, June 11th. So I'm not making this up. All right. I'm not making this up. I'm not doing this for show. I'm not trying to do this because I'm trying to fill the building. I really believe this. I've really been looking at this. The OC been looking at this. So before we get into this, I got to show you, man, because I said this June 11. I said, no lie. This is the most important show that I've ever done about the Dallas Cowboys. No cap. Okay? If we fix this, we can win a Super Bowl. And it was about Mike McCarthy versus Kellen Moore, offensive philosophy matchup versus systems. Okay? So that was then. Now, the good news is Mike McCarthy is winning. All right? So, real quick, we really been going through a series, all right? And so this is the second part of that series. What we did last week was we showed the lack of creativity that was going on with Kellen Moore, especially versus the Washington Commanders. All right, so we're not gonna go through it again, but I'm just giving a small recap of what we did already. Now we go prove it, or we go just even talk about it even more. Okay, so the whole premise of what we're talking about is the theory of sabotage. Okay, and that sabotage is a theory that's based on what Mike McCarthy warned about. So I'm gonna play that, talk about it, and then we go get right into the content.
Foundation of the offense won't change this offseason. It's just about evolving and taking what's already in place. And
definitely. I mean, we got to. I mean, hell, just look at first down. I mean, we got to look at. I mean, in first down hasn't been great. In certain games. So I mean, our normal down and distance offense is under high review. So I think situationally we got better in some areas, but.
And then I want y'all to recognize that that's the day we lost to San Fran. Okay, that's important. Dates are gonna be important this show.
Yeah, it's just like I think we've talked before about how the season goes and how the first third of the season, the challenges you have here, in the second third, and
what's up, DA?
How the toughest is the final third. So, and you break it down in all three phases, and specifically to the offense, you got to take a hard look at that. What made you successful early? How did you go through the adversity and the tribulations of injuries and changes in your lineups? Because that's you have to play a little differently then. I mean, there's concepts and people you need to help. So, or do we have enough help in our protections? I mean, these are all questions that are very fair, and we're going to take a normal look at it. So it's not like we're taking a hard look at it, but we definitely need to tweak some things because.
Consider you being the play caller and being more hands-on in how that's run.
I don't think that's the best way to run an offense. I've told you the first day I was standing here, whoever calls the offense will install it.
That's key what he just said, okay? That's real key. So he said, I don't believe in that way of taking over play calling for my OC. I need my OC to install it and then call it. But that's also what he believes for everybody.
It's important for the player, and it's the way I've always done it. It's important for the play caller. It's the way I've always done it, that every call on that play sheet he has to believe in, because you won't call it.
That's the key part right there. And that's what we're referring to as the sabotage. It's not a diabolical sabotage. It's a sabotage to where if you're not bought into the vision, you are not going to call it with conviction. And if you're not calling it with conviction, you are sabotaging the vision of your head coach. Because a lot of people don't believe that this happens, but Mike McCarthy is clearly showing that this happens because he goes say that he's also done it himself. Listen.
I've worked for some defensive head coaches that once in a while would have a great idea, and he's your boss, so you put it in the plan, and I'd run it in the first two plays just to get it off the goddamn call sheet. So I mean, sorry, I apologize for that.
And that's the key. That's what we're talking about. Not having a conviction based on the vision of your head coach. Okay? And being the OC and being forced to do things that you don't believe in is going to have you not committed to the plan.
But Yeah, so I'll be honest, I laugh at that stuff, but I don't try to do that to Kellen. But I have input. I have things I see, and I tell him this is how I think the game. Be aware of this and that. But for him to be, or anybody, it's no different. The way we do it on offense, defense, and special teams is the same. The play callers install. So obviously the head coach can have input in anything he wants. We all understand that, and even during the game. So yeah, I have that ability, but for us to be the best that we can be, I feel that's the way you should run your offense, defense, and special teams.
All right. So, OC, I'm going to ask you some questions, all right? I'm going to turn it on you, okay? So, first, let me set this up real quick. All right, we go listen to Mike McCarthy, and we go fast forward to now. Now, this is intentional, and this is very important what we're getting ready to talk about. So, first, let's listen to Mike McCarthy, and I'm going to ask you some questions. This is him on September 27th, okay? That's an important date. Here we go.
It's off to a good start.
When DeMarcus Lawrence went down last year, you kind of accelerated the plans you had for Micah Parsons out of necessity a little bit. I know you stretched the running game all offseason, but when Dak went out, is this kind of a point just to say, hey, we've been working on this, but we've got to get this going right now in the run game with Dak out?
Well, I mean, we talked about this at training camp. You guys are at training camp, so we needed to run the ball better, and more importantly, we need to get more attempts at the plate. So,
So who was he talking to when he said we need to get more attempts at the plate, OC?
The OC, the offensive coordinator.
All right.
I think with the training camp structure, you only have so many opportunities with the padded practices. So, it's just we need to stay committed to it. I think we've definitely done that the last 2 weeks. I thought Kellen called an excellent game last night.
Now, this is week 3, okay? So he said we did that the first 2 weeks. So what week was left off? Week 1.
Right, and Tony and Zeke are feature players for us. So I don't see us changing.
Now, OC, what does he mean when he say I don't see us changing? What is he talking about?
Continue to run the ball the way you ran the ball.
Yeah.
That's what he's talking about.
So does that
And
sound
keep
like
the attempt high.
does that sound like a definitive commitment to the run game?
That's his declaration about what he wants to see happen. That's what that is.
Okay, so let's keep going.
Mike, did you contemplate challenging that fumble at that spot? Is that just a matter of trying to get the information from upstairs in time?
I was trying to get the third step confirmed because I was standing right there. When I saw it live, I thought it was bang bang, and I think it was Brian that had the call. And I asked him, I said, did he? His feedback to me, he saw it as bang bang. So I think if he'd have called a fumble, it would stand. And he obviously called it incomplete. I think it would have stand. I think it was. That's how I viewed it. That was information from up top also.
Kevin Gray, 105 through the fan, 31 pass attempts, 30 rushing attempts, near perfect balance last night. When you look at the balance between the run and the pass game, how happy were you with that balance being struck? And is that something that continuously going forward it needs to happen for this offense to?
He said, how happy was you with the balance? Is that something that you see continuously going forward into the future? And the person who asked that question was Kevin Gray.
Able to be
Yeah, if you're just drawing up runs and passes, I think with the execution we had last night, we'd be hard to beat because it definitely plays to our defense. Because now our defense isn't on the field all day. They went up tempo. I think they were.
So one of the reasons he said is you want to commit to the running game is he said what? I don't want the defense on the field all day. Okay? This is why he's going with this identity. Let's keep going.
Their mindset was to try to offset the rush, our pass rush, and try to get as many cracks at us as possible, particularly with their run game. So, but yes, that's definitely a winning formula for us.
And he called it a winning formula. Is that a definitive statement, OC?
Yeah, it's pretty definitive. He says winning formula.
Going back to the running game, the mix between Tony and Zeke, 13 carries for Zeke, Tony and 15 for Zeke. Is that kind of what you want?
Well, I think it's a winning formula. I think it's, really stems off what, what we just talked about. It's, you got two guys that are featured players. They need to touch the ball. Whether we throw it to them, pitch it to them, hand it to them.
Throw it to them, pitch it to them, hand it to them. If you got a pen, write that down. Throw it to them, pitch it to them, hand it to them. OC, what have we been doing?
We've been ball off to him, Boss Cowboy.
Have we been throwing it to them?
No.
Have we been pitching it to them?
No. Maybe once. Maybe once a game.
Once a game.
Maybe once a game.
So let me ask you a question, OC. Did Mike McCarthy open it up for Kellen Moore?
Yeah, he opened up creative ways for him to throw the ball with West Coast concepts, which, we'll get into this in the film. West Coast concepts always have the back getting involved in multiple ways in offense, which is handoff, out of the backfield, and running routes.
Okay. So I want to be clear on that because the head coach said, let's just let him keep talking.
It makes no difference to me personally, but
also it don't make no difference to you. You basically saying, if I'm hearing you right, that Kellen, I don't care how you get these guys the ball. You can be creative. Am I hearing that right?
You heard it right.
Okay.
He said hand and pitch and throw.
Run blocking unit needs to come off the football. They need those 30 attempts a game. That's where the real balance comes from. Because there's some of those calls were RPOs, run solutions, whatever we call it, and the benefit of it, you're throwing it out to a one-on-one and they get 6 yards, whether it's CD or Noah. But the run blocking unit's still coming off the ball. So that's the benefit in my view of the RPOs and the run solution throws because those guys need to rip off the ball because if you're throwing it all day, then now you have your offensive line playing on their heels, and too much of anything is not going to be good for you.
So what did he say happens when you throw it all day?
RPOs and the run solution throws because those guys need to
rip
off the ball because if you're throwing it all day, then now you have your offensive line playing on their heels, and too much of anything is not going to be good for you.
Okay. Now this is the question I want to ask you, OC. So we heard him say this is a winning formula. We heard him talk a definitive vision of what he sees for the Dallas Cowboys going forward. It has been working. Now, let me ask you a question. What happens when you have two people that are in leadership, but they have two different visions? What is that called?
It's called division. It's division, man. It's not being in unison.
So let's listen to Kellen Moore and let's see if
there's going to be games where we're going to need to throw it. There's a lot of games and there's a lot of different approaches to this thing, and so as we go, we got to be able to play a few different styles, and that's important throughout the season in the NFL.
Wait, whoa! OC, what just happened?
Well, he came up with his idea, but I don't want to destroy him yet, Boss Cowboy. I want to just give some balance to this because in context, he is right. Some games you do need to throw the ball if you're not effective running the football is the disclaimer that he didn't really say. You do need to open up and be able to throw the football when you got 8 and 9 men in the box. You do need to be able to do that. Every game is different. So theoretically, he's correct in what he's saying, but the vision of Mike McCarthy is to line up and run the ball and have play action pass because, clearly if you've been watching any of these games, that's the strength of our team.
Yeah. So what I hear from that is two people on two different pages. I heard one guy saying, our winning formula is to run the ball. I'm hearing that's our identity. I'm hearing another guy say something totally different. To me,
that is him, not to cut you off, that is him holding on to what he really wants to do in terms of throw the football, right? Because he said, I think a week ago, he said, man, when they asked him about, and I know you got this clip, hey, man, how does it feel, to be committed to the run and how have you matured as a play caller or something to that effect? And he said, everything in me wanted to open it up and throw the ball.
Earlier in your play calling career, Were you as persistent with the run when you're kind of beating your head against the wall like that? Because
Everything inside of me wanted to throw the football the entire Sunday. So, but you learn, you grow. I think it's just understanding there's different styles to every game. And
See, he's saying different styles to every game. Mike McCarthy is definitive. That sounds like division, bro. But that's to me. And I'm glad you think a little bit different. That makes this fair. You know what I mean? That makes this fair because I don't think I'm moving too fast on what I'm seeing. But it's good to have people that's going to push back. And I'm glad you pushing back on this because you didn't even know what I was going to play today. I didn't tell you what I was going to play today. But what I'm hearing is division. But this is the key, okay, that I really want to get into right now is, and this is something that we won't be on different pages on. So let me just play this real quick. And then we go talk about this and get into the film. All right, so here we go, because this is a reminder, and this is very important. This is what Mike McCarthy said in terms of his running back. Listen.
You got two guys that are featured players. They need to touch the ball. Whether we throw it to them, pitch it to them, hand it to them. It makes no difference to me personally. But
so Mike McCarthy is saying you don't just have to run the ball. But Kellen Moore is just basically doing what, OC?
He go run the ball, man. He handed that ball off, man, and just run it straight into the teeth of that defense most of the time.
That's what he's doing most of the time. So some people say, OC, boss, y'all being conspiracy theorists because y'all saying that Kellen Moore is not creative. Well, actually, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying, and we go show by the film, and we go show by the data, that he's not being creative. Now listen to this, and then we go get into the film. But I had to first set this up for you to really clearly see that he's in a totally different place than Mike McCarthy to me. Not to the OC, but to me. But what is clear is that he is not being creative like Mike McCarthy opened him up to be. Mike McCarthy said, it don't matter to me. Just give them boys the touches. He didn't say run the ball. He said just give them, you can throw it to him, you can pitch it to him, you can hand it off to him. Just give him 30 of those. And he not.
But
now,
Kellen, to push back a little bit, Kellen is taking that literally, boss Cowboy.
Hold on. You broke up a little bit. He taking that literally.
Yeah, he said it doesn't matter to him how. Just give them their touches.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
I got a different theory on that. I'm gonna prove that later. Because I think who's actually driving that, I got another theory on who driving that, and we'll talk. I'll show that after you get off. But check this out in terms of the lack of creativity. Listen.
I looked at what we did. I thought we offensively tried to feature some guys that we went away from our playmakers. And that's not what you should do. That's why I'm questioning some of the things that transpired.
We see both these teams here at the Super Bowl. It's so easy for them to feed the ball to Cooper Kupp, Odell, even Chase. Why is it so hard for Dallas to be able to feed the ball to CD and Amari?
Creativity, or the lack thereof creativity.
So is that Emmitt Smith questioning his creativity? Or is that boss in the OC?
No, that was Emmitt, the Smith, the one, the only.
Okay, let's keep going.
When you have quality wide receivers like Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Gallup at the time, Wilson, and others, you create matchup issues by moving them all around. They should be able to run routes, and they should be interchangeable. I mean, we need to upgrade in our tight end position, to be honest with you. I don't think our tight ends were great pass blockers or run blockers. And that's the problem. Especially when you're trying to run the ball with Zeke and Pollard and so forth. Yes, we needed that We needed that guy that can actually block and run pass routes at the same time. So no one can actually key on us when we're in certain situations. And I think offensively, we kind of got away from the main thing being the main thing. And they need to get their act together in terms of calling consistent plays that are giving our guys and doing the things that you talked about. Creating ways for these guys to get the ball in their hands instead of the
He said creative ways to get these boys the ball in their hand. Did I hear that right?
plays that are giving our guys and doing the things that you talked about. Creating ways for these guys to get the ball in their hands instead of the standard way of doing it. The creativity that I would expect from Kellen Moore needs to continue to evolve. And we need to take advantage of that.
And so that's what we've been talking about with this series. Is because yes, Kellen Moore was made to lie down in green pastures. He has been made at this point after Tampa to run the ball. But the problem, and we showed this by the film breakdown last week, is you're not seeing the creativity out of Kellen Moore. So that guy that was speaking is obviously Emmitt Smith, and then we go get into the film. Let me ask you a question though, seeing everybody in the chat. Who do you think got more career catches out of Bob Hayes and Emmitt Smith?
Emmitt.
Who do you think got more career catches out of Jay Novacek and Emmitt Smith, who played around the same time?
Emmitt.
Who do you think got more catches than Emmitt Smith for the Dallas Cowboys? Terrell Owens or Emmitt?
Emmitt.
Okay. So what kind of catches was Emmitt doing? Dump offs. Did Emmitt ever go downfield? No. Emmitt didn't catch nothing downfield. So when you looking at Kellen Moore, why in the world, OC, and then we go get into the film. We've been waiting on this. This is what we've been waiting on. But we had to first make the case. Why in the world, OC, can you explain to me why are we not seeing Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard catching the ball? And I'm not talking about downfield. I'm talking about simple dump off like Emmitt used to do. Do y'all want to know what Emmitt did for a career? He had 486 receptions, and it was pretty much all dump offs. So, okay, let's get into the film. And then we'll talk about the creativity or the lack thereof, like Emmitt said.
The OC.
The film breakdown.
All right, so real quick, this is Memphis tape with Pollard, okay? And with this, you're going to see a lot of screen principles. So, OC, you got it from her, big dog.
Yeah, so, I mean, you look at Tony Pollard, and then you're going to see just how they dynamically used him in college, which is just a little bit different than what we see, you know, right now. I mean, you're going to see him, you know, catch the ball on swings and get upfield and get in space. The key term that the Memphis really did great with him is use him in space. So now you see him stacked in behind the trips formation, which is basically giving him a wall of blockers. And they rally and make a lot of tackles on him in this particular game. They did a pretty good job. But the key, again, is getting him in space versus defenders that are not as athletic or fast as him. So, you know, you also see this, you know, you see the motion across, and then you see, you know, there he goes, a handoff, and now he's off to the races. You know, and then he's accelerating using that tremendous burst and speed that he has. So, you know, those are the type of things, you know, that work well with Pollard. And anytime he gets a chance to really hit it downhill, he's great, man. And you know, you notice again, you'll see him out here running on the screenplay, and he almost breaks that one. So you'll see him lined up wide. and then you'll see them going to him here wide again. And if you notice, there's always a motion, another guy coming across. So it's misdirection elements, which, by the way, Kellen Moore saw and has a lot of experience in coming from Boise State. So I'm a little surprised that we don't see a little bit more of that type of thing. But that's a quick out route,
And that was the only thing he did downfield. Everything else was a simple flow route.
Yep. So you'll see him again. He's stacked behind wide receiver, and they're going to give him the ball here. Again, you see the motion across. You see the back going the other way. And, you can do a lot of setup stuff off of this because you saw the motion, then you see the back going the other way. So you got an element of misdirection. They could fake the screen and hand it off. They could do a lot of different things with this. But Memphis's offense would have him in the slot, and they would, flare him out from the slot, giving him the football and letting him get upfield and do his thing. So the whole key thing when you got speed players is to get them in space and really to manipulate everything in such a way that you're trying to create one-on-one matchups. That's really what you want to do. You really want to get them away from the fray, get them outside of the box, and then try to create one-on-one matchups because you believe that your athlete is better than the other team's athlete, and that's going to give you the best chance to make some huge plays.
Right. So remember, Mike McCarthy said what?
You got two guys that are featured players. They need to touch the ball. Whether we throw it to them, pitch it to them.
Hold on, let me go back to it.
Hand it to them. It makes no difference to me personally, but
throw it to him, pitch it to him, hand it to him. Make no difference to me. But he not doing it. And we got all the links to that in the description. So we showing different concepts that's not being implemented by Kellen Moore. Let me ask you a question, OC. Could these be run substitutes?
Yeah.
Handoff. What I mean is handoff substitutes.
Yeah. So anytime, man, you run a wheel route, man, it's a long handoff. Some people call it a long handoff. You run a wheel route. You run the screen game to get the ball out quick to take advantage of up the field, very aggressive style defenses like we played against this past weekend, by the way, with the Rams. And then you run the quick outs, man, to keep people honest and to burn them by your good athletes when they play that off-man coverage. They're playing off and giving you 5-6 yards. You can run a quick out route. It's going to be open all day long. So, yeah, it's variations of things you could do, to your point. Absolutely.
Gotcha. And it's not being done. See, that's the key thing. And the sad thing is your OC opened it up for you. Your OC said, bro, I don't care how you get him to 30 touches. So he not micromanaging, is it? Is he micromanaging him that bad?
Not at all, man. He's giving him his liberties. As a matter of fact, he's been very clear that, hey, he wants the person that calls the plays to install the play. And he's trying not to micromanage because he wants them to call everything that they believe in. So Mike has been very, very clear about that. He's a big boy type of coach. He's not a guy that grinds down on you. He gives his coordinators a good amount of liberty, in my opinion, until you get to a certain point, which is now, by the way.
Yeah. So here we go. So now, OC, getting back into another film session, that was screen principles from Memphis that Kellen Moore does not use. Then we go talk about leak out and dump off principles that Kellen Moore does not do. Okay? And the one time it happened, it exploded. So let's go through.
And let me say something that's important before you get into that. That's extremely important.
Please.
All right. When you look at Kellen Moore and his history, and even the receivers he had when he was at Boise State, Will Pettit, I believe was his name, or Pettis, I think. They used to run screens all the time to these boys. They used to flare out the back and throw the ball all the time at Boise State to try to get one-on-one. They would do misdirection and come back and throw screens or players, and they would do things like that, right? So, Kellen does have the experience, from the quarterback position of being able to run these plays and knowing what these type of plays are. So I think that's important to know. Go ahead, boss.
Yeah. So let's get into these screen principles real quick, because we didn't go through all of this at the final word. So y'all check this out.
Yep.
Here we go. Here we go. It's on UOC.
All right, man. So now, if you want to take a look at this, and you look and notice the formation, right? So you got a wide receiver, you got a tight end stacked up to the left, right? You got a single back, you got two wide, and then let's see what unfolds here. Okay, let's see what unfolds here.
Okay. And we got a super
All
chat
right.
from Coach Marv. He said using TP and Zeke in the passing, this will open up things downfield for CeeDee Lamb. And y'all chill out on the super chats until the OC is done with his film session, because that's going to tempt me to stop and take y'all super chats. So wait till he done with this part, then super chat. Please. Thank you.
Yeah, so what you're looking at, and you did a great job, capturing this. It's just a basic leak out play, right? And this is what you really call a wheel route, right? Because a wheel route should be going up the field a few yards. And so it's just basically I'm flashing one way and I'm coming back to the wheel route going the opposite way, right? And so, it's variations of this, and we cover some of this on the final word. Notice he's acting like he's a blocker, but he's really trying to weave his way out because he's trying to confuse the linebacker, which is what he does, right? He comes inverted underneath on this play, leaks out, and now he's up the field and, getting a lot of yards and things of that nature, right? So he looks like a blocker, but then...
Before we go to that, OC, let's look at that same play with the Dallas Cowboys versus Washington. But this was accidental.
Yeah, man. So now, here we go. There it is. He's the safety valve. He's like, hey, give me the ball. I'm in trouble. And then this boy just starts sprinting down the field like a maniac, right? Because he's that guy, right? He's that guy. So notice Cooper Rush under pressure. And so he tries to block, and he notices that, hey, man, my quarterback is in trouble. So just instinctively, he turns around, right, and is looking for the ball. And then he's sprinting down the field like a maniac. That's Ezekiel Elliott, man, doing a great job, right? Just being aware. And that's just being really smart, Boss Cowboy, and understanding football, because that was really not a design play, because he blocked the guy, he tapped another guy, and he's like, oh, crap, the ball's not out. He turned around and like, hey, man, look, I'm right here, man. And then Cooper just, gives him the ball. So, that was a good, instinctive.
See, that's what I'm saying, bro. See, that's exactly what I'm saying. What the difference between, this is the difference. Pittsburgh did it on purpose. Dallas did it by accident. So my question, OC, is why don't Kellen Moore pick up a highlighter? You telling me as an OC you don't notice that when your run was just getting stuffed all day long, that you kept running into the interior, and the one thing that got big chunks was you throwing? You didn't do it again?
Yeah.
So this is what they was doing against Washington, and it wasn't working. They threw it to Zeke once, and it was the biggest chunk all day.
True. Well,
this is the biggest chunk. So, and this is what built Emmitt Smith. That's all Emmitt Smith did. Emmitt right now is 5th all time with the Dallas Cowboys doing this one play. Dump offs. He never caught downfield. He always just leaked out, caught it, and did damage. OC, what's up with that? Can you help me before we go back to the Bell film?
Well, unfortunately, Boss Cowboy, I don't know how much I'm going to be with this, because it's just pretty simple, man. It's like the running back is a check down. The running back is a safety valve. The running back is a guy that, he can block and release, or he can be in as a blocker. Now, historically, what the Cowboys have done, well, over the past couple years, is leave in Ezekiel Elliott as a blitz beater, right? He's the guy to pick up the blitzes, right? But he's not a guy that's really leaking out of the backfield. But unless it was by design of some screens to Tony Pollard and an occasional, every now and again, a screen to Ezekiel Elliott. But what you could very, very easily do, to something that you say all the time, is getting the athlete on a stiff.
Yep.
Right? Getting the athlete on a stiff.
Yep.
And intentionally leak them out and get on one-on-one with a linebacker. Because if you got a runoff or you got long routes down the field, you can easily leak him out underneath and then let him get upfield, make moves, break tackles. He may get tackled for a 1 or 2 yard gain, but that's not going to last the whole game, right? At some point, he's going to rip off a chunk of yardage by catching that ball underneath and being one-on-one with a linebacker.
Right. So, OC, I'm going to go back to the Bell tape and let you talk about more of the concepts that the Dallas Cowboys could be doing. Because remember what the head coach said.
You know, you got two guys that are future players. You know, they need to touch the ball. You know, whether we throw it to them, pitch it to them, hand it to them. You know, it makes no difference to me personally. But
yeah, man. So going back to this film, it's pretty clear to see that Bell is a mismatch on our linebacker. So, you know, if you let this run, Boss Cowboy, you'll kind of see that, hey, man, this guy is again, he's leaking up and he just runs a quick out route. And it kind of skipped a little bit on that, Boss, but that's
No,
okay.
it didn't. No, it didn't. It was showing the vertical.
Okay, cool.
It was showing the space based on the vertical routes.
Okay, got it. Okay, so I missed that part.
It was just highlighting.
All right, but yeah,
that's all.
Okay, cool. Cool, yeah, he leaks out, man, and I mean, just beats the brakes off this guy, right? And God bless him, no offense, but it's Sean Lee. You know, it's just a quick out route. It's an out route from the backfield, and he just, you know, creates a massive chunk of yards by being one-on-one with a linebacker. It's a very simple play.
It's simple.
It's not even too much to explain.
Nope.
It's just, man, he came out of the backfield, he went up, he went out. It's a simple out route, and he's faster and more athletic than a linebacker who can't run with him, and he's gonna, you know, make him look silly, just for lack of a better term, man. That's what it is.
Before we go back to the film, I want to go back to one thing real quick. Just real quick.
When you have quality wide receivers like Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Gallup.
No, let me rewind it. Hold on.
The ball to CD Namari.
Creativity, or the lack thereof creativity. When you have quality wide receivers like Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Gallup at the time, Wilson, and others, you create matchup issues by moving them all around. They should be able to run routes, and they should be interchangeable. I mean, we need to upgrade in our tight end position to be.
That's what he was talking about, creating the matchups. So when we talking about athletes on stilts, okay, and that's what we talking about concept-wise, right? That's exactly what Emmett was talking about, and that's exactly what we not seeing out of Kellen Moore with using his running backs.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is just one of those deals to where, you know, it's the beauty of simplicity. And sometimes we are enamored with our own genius. And I think everybody can be guilty of this, that we don't really take advantage of the opportunities to do simple things to cause us to have success, right? To do the simple things. And so this is just really what we're talking about in terms of this concept, in terms of just a simple leak out or a flare out, or, you know, just leaking out of the middle, you know, and then, you know, throwing the ball down the field, doing things like that, because that's creating the one-on-ones. Because basically when you got to account for the running back coming out of the backfield, this is something that nobody really explains. But when you got to account for the running back coming out of the backfield, the linebacker cannot drop in coverage. He can't. He gets frozen. Because once he gets beat by a flare out, he's frozen and he has to, quote unquote, stay home on that running back. He can't drop 5 yards into coverage and be involved in catching crossing routes or even quick slant routes. And then now that enables you as an offensive coordinator. If you do that, you freeze that linebacker. Now you get in receivers running behind the linebacker, and they can run shallow crosses. They can even get some quick slants in because they have frozen that linebacker from trying to cover any type of third, backing up toward where the safety is evacuating space to cover deep routes.
Right. And since you're talking about concepts, this is an article that Coach Marv sent me from X's and O's Labs, and it was talking about the running back first isolation progression in the pass game. All right, and one of the key things that it talked about is he said it's all about completions in our drop back pass game because obviously that is what moves the sticks. But if you find backs are usually wide open and QBs are forcing the ball downfield into double coverage. So we stress throwing the ball to the back with space. So we not making this up. OC, we not making this up. Like some people, some people say y'all just some YouTubers, y'all making. No, we not. We showing you the film and everything that this is a key concept that Kellen Moore could implement, especially against teams like the Commanders and Philly with strong fronts.
No doubt, man. No doubt. It's simple, it's easy, it's very effective. Like I said, it's the beauty of simplicity, and these are the things sometimes that really, man, it's almost like a life lesson, man. It's not like the complex things. A lot of times it's the simple things. And if you can take care of the simple things, man, a lot of times, man, you go have success, And so that's what it is in this scenario. And we're not even getting into anything complex. These concepts are simple and easy to follow. We're not getting into, a combination route patterns. We're not getting into anything that is like a high level of nomenclature. This is just simple, man, check off stuff and nuances you can do to help move the ball down the field.
Just that simple. And it does move the chains because guess what? 4 of Bell catches converted to first downs. The best thing at moving the chains on us was Bell catching. And a lot of people was saying, Bell is like a receiver. No, he wasn't. He never was like a receiver. A majority of his catches was dump offs. Just like Emmett.
Yeah, and Emmett ran over a lot of people, got a lot of first downs with those swing passes, man. I remember watching him, man. He did a lot of people dirty, and he put a lot of quick jukes on people too. You know what I mean? And made them look silly in the open field, man, and got big chunks of yardage, man. That's what it's all about. It's just space.
Yep. And somebody said those plays flipped the field. Yeah, bro. Like, let's keep going real quick. Let me take this one, OC, because this one is showing how indecisiveness or slow delivery hurts space and yak ops. Matter of fact, you got it, OC. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, bro, it's fine, man. It is very simple. You're going to see a leak out at the top of the screen, and notice he's open right now. He's open right now. He's open right now. Now I got pressure. Now I'm going to go. They're closing now. That's what happens. Now it's a tackle for loss, right? Because he's open. Now it's about identification, and that's on the quarterback, right?
That's on the quarterback. Agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the quarterback is holding the ball, and he's hoping for a bigger play down the field, right? He is not there, right? And now he has to emergency, dump the ball off. But when you emergency dump the ball out, now that guy is not dropping anymore. That DB is not dropping. He's coming right back up to make that tackle and cover that back, and that's what he does. So, but here's the beauty of it, that it could be for a guy like Cooper Rush. This will be like the best friend of Cooper Rush. Like if you really want to make Cooper Rush stats look good, you can do a lot of this stuff and make Cooper Rush stats look good because he can dump the ball off quickly, and Zeke can probably go get up the field and give him something.
Yep.
So that's going to make his completion, his yards, that's going to help him look so much better if you just incorporate a little bit of that, man. Just maybe like 3 or 4 throws a game. It don't have to be a lot. Like maybe
just
3 or 4 throws a game. Yeah, 3 or 4, you'd be good.
You ain't got to go crazy with this.
Yep.
But this could be a part of your key drive.
Yeah.
Like a playing Philly, we gonna need stuff like this. I was talking to Coach Marv today, and Coach Marv said something. Coach Marv. He said, Boss, when have you heard of a backup quarterback not throwing to the running backs and tight ends? Can you explain that?
Yeah, because what Coach Marv is alluding to is that the easiest routes, the simplest completions is throwing to the running back and the tight end. That's all that Coach Marv was alluding to, because these are short, quick routes, right? These are quick release routes off the line of scrimmage, or their passes out of the backfield, or their quick out routes, or their quick hitches, or their quick, what people call stop routes, right? Or they may be a short crossing route with a tight end or something like that, right? They're the low numbers in the route tree. So if you don't know the route tree, it goes from a 0, which would be like a screen, to a 1 to be an out, and then going all the way up to the number 9, which would be like considered a go route, right? Which is just sprint past your defender, right? So it's like all below 3 and under. It's like it's route 0, 1, 2, and 3. Like those are the most of the routes you're going to throw to like your tight ends and or your backs coming out of the backfield with an occasional hitch or something like that to the tight end. So that's what Coach Marv was talking about.
And this is showing where decisive throws to the leak out gives people like Pollard, like Bell, like Zeke the space they need to create opportunities and move the chains. You got it.
Yeah. So I mean, this is super simple, right? And so you see, my guy at the bottom of the screen, and then when he rolls the tape, man, we're in trips, almost trips, and then a quick leak out. And then there he is, man. Just catch the ball. And notice how, and this is something I want to point out. Notice how, right, Bell is running these wheel routes, right? He's running it almost like a wheel and up, right? So he's gaining ground up to the line of scrimmage, all right? And when he releases this ball, he's going to be in a position to make a move and to really create some damage. Go ahead, boss. So he catches it, boom, missed tackle. Here we go. First down. That's all we're looking for.
That's all we're looking for. That's all.
First down.
Man.
That's what we're looking for. First down. First down, and then we'll get a chance to do this thing one more time. Now you see him just, who is that? Deshaun Lee? Yeah, so, he's playing slot versus a linebacker. And, this is an instant loss. It doesn't matter what move he throws. Now, it doesn't matter, man. It's an instant loss, man.
Right.
And listen, I'm not being funny.
And this is matchup football. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good. I'm saying, but pretty much, man, if you put Ezekiel Elliott or Pollard, right, in this scenario with 9 out of 10 linebackers, right, it's going to be an instant win, with the exception of, freaky athletic dudes like a Devin White, like dudes that really can cover, dudes that are like freaky athletic. That might not be an instant win. Not on every line, but on most linebackers, it's going to be an instant win.
95% instant. And Marquise Hardison said, "Are we expecting Kellen Moore to properly scheme?"
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes, man. We want you to, because, man, first of all, you're the OC for the most popular organization in the NFL, and then your tenure of being the OC, it has to become more wrinkles in your game, man. It's like I equate it to being a good boxer. At some point you got to be able to throw a hook. At first they teach you all the straight punches, man. They go teach you to jab, jab, jab. Okay, throw the cross. At some point, you got to learn how to throw a hook, man. You got to learn how to throw that thing, man. You got to know how to slip a punch. You got to know how to weave under it, man. You got to know how to work an uppercut. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand what to do, man. How to shuffle out, shuffle in. And those are the things that you got to be able to do, man, as a good offensive coordinator. And that's my analogy. That's my new analogy, man. A good offensive coordinator, man, is like a good boxer. They know how to set up shots. They know how to set up plays. Every play is not designed for you to get a touchdown. And I think that's what the maturation process has to be with Kellen Moore. And my honest opinion, as the more I think about this, boss, is he thinks that every play in his mind got to be a big play. And that's why he's resistant to running a football, and he hates it. He grinds his teeth. I just hate it. Just getting this little freaking 2-yard gain. I hate it. Forget it. You make me do it. Forget it. I'll just run a dive. Forget it. I'll just run power football ISO, and then we just get what we get. I don't care, because I think it's a maturation process of understanding that hey man, that 1 yard gain, that 2 yard gain, man, that's a throwaway punch, boss. That's just a touch 'em jab. I ain't trying to hit you. I ain't trying to hurt you. I'm just trying to touch you. I just want to touch you. I just want to touch you. I just want to feel you. I want to touch you. I want to see what you do. And then now I'm gonna come with a hard overhand. And those are the plays that set up the big plays.
Yeah.
It's the basic schematic plays and knowing how to just do base package offense, and now I set up the big play. And I think that a mature offensive coordinator, when you look at people like that really impressed me, Doug Peterson was a great play caller, and now he's with the Jaguars, I think, Jacksonville. When the Eagles won the Super Bowl, if you look at people like Andy Reid, you look at mature play callers, right? And sometimes he got Patrick Mahomes, and he will run a zone play at you. He will run a basic toss. He will run a straight up dive. But we know we got Patty Mahomes, and then he gonna come with something different. So he sometimes he gives a fill out play. He'll give like, hey man, a throwaway play, or like a throwaway punch. You know what I mean? Just to see where you are and to measure you. And then I'm gonna come back to something later. And I think that's what the mature and the best offensive coordinators do, Boss Cowboy. And that's what I'm seeing here.
Now I also want to say, being honest, this don't mean we go lose games. All right, I want to be clear on that, because at least we running the ball. We just trying to take it to another level. Because remember, this channel is about solving problems. You see what I'm saying? So we winning, but we trying to dominate. That's why we putting these ideas out here. That's what we want. This is not about are we go win or not, because I still think we go beat Philly, vanilla or not. I think we got the talent to do it, but how much better would we be if Kellen was more creative and actually did what his yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. But this is what I was gonna say, and this is my whole end. And I said this at the end of last year, and you were on this for a while, boss. I'm thinking like a championship coach, man. I'm worried about what we go do when we get them tough games. I'm worried about not these games. I'm worried about the games you got to win at the end of the year. I'm worried about the games when you're getting at the divisional playoff stuff, right? Like, what are you going to do when it's a win or go home game, right? And I guess what I'm trying to say here, and this is like even equated to like some of my experience coaching youth football, I'd be concerned with some of, the coaching staff and some of the things I see, because I'm like, okay, man, I know it's a day coming. Well, we going to need to be able to do this. I know it is a day coming that we are going to need to be able to do this effectively. And if you ain't never done this all year, and then we get in a key game and we need to do this to win, advance, or win a championship, then, man, my fear is that we are not going to be able to do this effectively. And that's going to be the downfall of us, because you can win 15, 17 regular season games and lose in the first round. And what does it mean?
Nothing.
What does it mean?
Nothing.
To me, it means nothing.
To me, it means nothing. To me, it means nothing.
To me, it means absolutely nothing. So that's what we're saying, so that we don't have a repeat of next year. We don't have a first round exit, because your coordinator get tight because you're not doing stuff that you're not used to doing, stuff that you had all year to get used to doing that you should be able to do comfortably now. And now you tighten it up. You tighten it up now in that key moment, and then it costs us. And that's my concern.
Let's get back into this film session. You was talking about athletes versus stiffs.
Yeah, man. So this dude on Sean Lee, man, that's a quick stop.
No, route. that was on Damian Wilson.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I didn't see him good. Okay, man. But it doesn't matter, bro. It could be Ain't Your Mama, bro. It'll be the same outcome, man. It's a quick stop route, man. I'm gonna just go glide up the field a couple yards, catch the ball. Here I go, easy catch. Here I go, almost the first down.
Athlete on stiff.
Easy, because you know what, you got to give me space, because if you go try to play me tight and you are a linebacker, oh my God, then we'll call a go from the slot, and then I'll beat you for a touchdown. So then what you gonna do now? And so now this is the chip and a leak, right? And so this is how you disguise the leaks, right? And this is really, I think, how we should operate, because normally we're used to our running back staying into block. So use Ezekiel Elliott just like this. Chip him, great, come out, turn around, catch the ball, and run.
Yep.
Right.
Which happened to them by accident. He chipped.
Right.
And he released.
Here we go.
And
here we go.
36 yards. Same play.
Yeah, because the linebacker that missed the tackle on Zeke had no idea or expectation of Ezekiel Elliott coming out of that backfield. He was on the other hash.
Yep.
And he was like, oh, crap, Ezekiel Elliott is over here by his freaking self. Let me get my butt. Look, he's on the other hash. Look, that guy's on the other hash. He's like, oh, my God. He's over there on the other hash.
Bro.
So he's like, oh, my God.
And can I say this, OC? Can I say this?
Yeah.
If this would have been Pollard, this could be 6.
Yeah, this probably been 6, man. This probably this. Let me see. Let me see. This might have been 6 right here.
That might have been 6 with Pollard's speed.
Yeah, that might have been 6.
Look, right, he catch it right there. Now imagine Pollard with that much space, bro.
Yeah. Pollard might have squeezed on through that last tackle. He might have squeezed on through that one.
Yeah, he run right by that. He run right by that last tackle right there.
Yeah,
if it's not 6, it's a bigger chunk for sure.
Yeah, it's close. It's 6 or close.
But you was talking about that, and we showing all kind of little concepts. And keep in mind, this is one game with Pittsburgh. They was doing this all year to teams with Bill.
And nobody could stop it.
And nobody could stop it.
Yeah. Nobody can stop it because it's hard to, because you can't. Here's the thing that people don't understand. I'll just make it simple for the fans. You can't effectively cover short and long at the same time if you have a good athlete coming out of the backfield.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say that again. You cannot effectively cover long passes and short if you got a good athlete coming out of the backfield. It's going to be nearly impossible. It's nearly impossible. You can't do it. You got to pick your poison. So you go take away the deep passes, that's fine. Then we go attack you underneath, right? You go take away the underneath stuff, you go sit, then we go work our routes behind you because you sit and you're trying to take away the underneath stuff. So either way you lose, and that's what a good coordinator recognizes, that either way you lose, man. I just got to adjust to make the right call based upon what I see the defense doing and giving to me. I got to make the right call. And I got to make the right judgment call and give it to the right person based upon how I see you trying to play me. All right, so go ahead, boss. You can let it run. So you see him now, Bell, at the top of the screen. And let's just take a look at what he does. Very simple. Just a simple leak out. And then look how that linebacker sucks up. You saw how that linebacker sucked up to the line of scrimmage?
Yep.
Run that back. So you see how that linebacker sucks up? He sucks up to the line of scrimmage. He loses track of the back. Look.
Yep.
Now he's trying to chase him down. Now he's like, oh, crap. Right? So, I'm going to tell you, most linebackers ain't really that smart. They're instinctual. No offense. They're instinctual. They play on instincts because if they got to think too much, they go too slow. So, yeah, they're going to make mistakes and take false steps, man. That's just a part of it. But, here he is, other backfield.
And look at Bell. This is not a chip and release, but he sets up like he chipping. Check him out. Right. So he goes set up like what? Right there. You see him set up and show chip body language, and then he releases.
So he just hid behind the left tackle real quick. He just paused, hid behind him, did nothing. And then just skedaddled out on his merry way. That's it. Give me the ball,
And that's Bell. And that's Bell on the inside.
Yeah, man.
Another athlete on the stiff. Got him, coach.
Look at that. That's easy work, man. That's a first down, man. You need a couple yards. That's a first down. If you don't want to throw the ball, that's a first down, man. This is super easy. It's not. What can you do? What can you do, man? This is the easy stuff, man. Quick inside release, man. Look, hop, step, whoop, inside. Holla.
Yeah.
That's it.
And see, he went at Antonio Brown. He should have went at Bell. That was the matchup.
Yep. So, at the end of the day, man, we're just showing a variety of ways that you can creatively, and simply, right? It's creative, but it's pretty simple, to get people in space, man, and create favorable matchups to take pressure off your backup quarterback, your starting quarterback when they come back. And this is going to benefit in the long term the passing game and the ability to get the ball to CeeDee Lamb more effectively and efficiently, get the ball more to Gallup more effectively and efficiently, creating favorable one-on-one matchups.
Pollard, what Coach Moore say? Hit your head on the goalpost. On this play right here,
Yep.
Pollard would have definitely hit his head on the goalpost. Because we talking about 4.6 speed versus 4.3 speed. Right here, as soon as he caught the ball, man, Pollard is gone, bro. Look at this. That is crazy. What you think Pollard gonna do with this?
Sprint. He ain't even juking. He said that LaBelle tried to juke. Nah, he ain't go juke. He just sprinting. Sprinting.
And the Cowboys start bracketing. That was their adjustment to stop the catching damage that Bell was doing on him. They start bracketing him, which opens it up for other people.
Correct, because you can't. It's yin and yang, man. Tomato, you can't cover everybody.
Look, they bracketed him. So that means CeeDee Lamb 1-on-1.
Yep.
That means Gallup 1-on-1. Man, bro. So anyway. So yeah, man, and we got more concepts. We're not gonna go through them all right now. We were just giving you a take, because it's so much. See, you know who got some good concepts? Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Go look at, not you. I know you already know this because we did the breakdown of Drummond. But Ole Miss, they space concepts. And see, this is the thing. Because we focus on solutions on this channel. See, some people, they don't understand us. They really don't get us. They don't get this channel. See, let me explain something about this channel. When we first started, it was over 20 injuries with the Dallas Cowboys when we first started this channel. All right. What was the first thing that we did, OC?
Man, we talked about solutions, man, on how to potentially win, man, in the midst of the injuries. That's what I remember.
And we brought on how many guests to talk about how to correct these injuries?
Oh, man, at least 4 or 5, man. At least 4 or 5 people, man.
Our first 6 shows brought on heavy hitter guests. We brought our second show was with Earl Spence Trainer.
That's true.
People don't understand us sometimes. Like, this is what we do. We try to really bring real solutions, not made up stuff, not entertainment. This is real solutions that would help Kellen Moore. It really would.
So it would, man. And I'm gonna tell you somebody else who's really good. That if you like throwback, man, you can go look back at the championship 49ers and the West Coast principles they ran with Tom Rathman and Roger Craig, man, and just look at some of the stuff they did in the 90s, man, and it will help us, man, with how they use the backs and try to get the backs involved.
Gotcha. And so let me ask y'all a question, because see, I told y'all we going through a series, all right? So we going through a series because what we've been seeing out of Kellen Moore is basically zone right, zone left, halfback dives, right? Mostly. We already did the film breakdown to show that's what he was doing, and that's what he's still doing. I want anybody to go Google how many targets Zeke and Pollard have in the last 5 games. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. This is exactly what Kellen Moore is doing. But this is the good news. We can still win with this. So I don't want people to get twisted like we can't win with this. I'd rather him run stubbornly into stout lines than to throw the ball around like he likes to do. With backup.
Pause that ball.
Pause it.
Yeah, you can run it back.
Right here?
To the beginning.
To the beginning? To the very beginning?
No, to the beginning of that play.
Okay, is that it right there?
That's good.
Okay.
So, look at the defense. Look at the posture of the defense. Look. Just look. Stop. They know for certain that this is a run play. Like, it's no doubt in their mind. They know this is a run play.
Right.
They just setting up, ready to play it, man. I just wanted to point that out. In terms of creativity and play action that you could do out of the run game, they know this is a run play, man. It's no doubt about it. It's no shock or surprise that this is a run play. They know it's a run play, 110%.
Right.
Go ahead, Boss.
Yeah, and I told y'all that somebody said Google. Yeah, Google the amount of targets. You can use that. It's okay. It don't hurt to use Google. I don't know what's wrong with some of y'all. Y'all weird. But check this out. Because also we talked about the counter traps. How many did you see last game? I saw one.
No, I saw a guard trap, and I saw a counter trap. I think I saw two.
Two. Okay, I might have missed one.
I think I saw two.
How many lead tosses did you see? I saw one.
I saw one too.
Okay. How many jet sweeps did you see, or motion jets? I didn't see any.
I didn't see any either.
Okay, how many running back screens did you see?
I didn't see any.
Okay. Now, these are all the things we talked about. And see, that's not even... See, dump off is just one. So we just went through film of dump off. We already showed you how... Talk about the counter real quick, OC, which... Yeah, just talk about it real quick. Just to counter trap.
Yeah, man. So the counter is just really a double team concept to where you causing 3 of your linemen to go. Let's just use it as an example. They step off and they're down blocking to the left, and you will pull your left guard and left tackle around to seal the defensive end, and then the tackle will pull in between that hole where your guard kicked out the defensive end and inside to block the linebacker as a lead blocker. And what it does is that it double teams the front side, creating space and movement, and allows your big to get one-on-one with a stiff or a linebacker, which should ideally create a large seam for your running back to go through. So that's your counter trap.
Yeah, elaborate on that real quick.
Yeah, so when you talk about a counter trap concept, if you think about Connor McGovern and you think about Tyler Smith pulling around, and they've done this in previous games and blocking, and they've done it very, very effectively. What they did is that, hey, you had Batty Ass, you had Zach Martin, and then you had Terrence Steele, down blocking, and then you had these guys pulling around with McGovern kicking out the defensive end, and then Tyler Smith running inside of him, hitting a linebacker, which creates a massive seam. And so the concept of this play is movement with misdirection, right? You're going to create movement by getting front side movement, and then the misdirection of these guys pulling around, which will cause really confusion on the defense and create favorable angles, right? And so that's really what you're doing with that. Now, what the Cowboys did to kind of boot that is that they have run some inside. They ran an inside trap on the nose tackle versus the Rams, which is pretty interesting. I think with McGovern in as the up back, and they did that. So that's the counter trade right there. Boom. So that's what I just described to you guys. And that was a huge play that broke, right? That's exactly what I just described to you guys. So notice what you got front side, first of all, right? So you notice a down block of Steele, and then go ahead pause it here. Beautiful, beautiful. Good job, Ball. So look at that down block by Steele. Okay, look at that down block by Steele. He's going to take 92 and put him down where the center is. And then 58 is going to go for a ride with Zach Martin. And then you have the back block, which he's blocking the left guards, man, Tyler Biadasz, right? And so you got the pulling, right, of, and I believe this is McGovern or Farinock. I think it's McGovern. Oh, Farinock. Okay. So Farinock pulling around, and he's going to kick out. If you look right there, stop. All right. He kicks out this guy who didn't want any action. He just tries to fall over. Right, and then you got Tyler Smith. Yeah, he killed him. So then you got Tyler Smith hitting the linebacker that's trying to fill the hole. And then you got Jake Ferguson. He did a great job of not continuing to step down. He comes off on 55. Look at the seam now. Look at the seam. So he seals them. Notice his butt is in the hole. That's a good thing. Notice Tyler Smith's butt is in the hole. right? And Tony Pollard hits that seam, and he gets vertical, let it run. And so that's what you want to see, man. That's the ideal, perfectly blocked up counter trade. You got movement on the front side of misdirection, and you got seal blocks. You got to kick out, and you got to seal, and then he's out the gate. And so all you got to do is make a guy miss and break a tackle, man. He can take this to the house. And so, all that stuff really, really helps, man. And, what I liked when they ran it is when they tried to do it on Aaron Donald. Now, it has some effectiveness on Aaron Donald, but Aaron Donald's such a great defender, man. He was just getting off blocks, but it does have effectiveness on wearing down, man, strong tackles and aggressive defensive ends. So, it's going to help a whole lot, man, if we integrate these concepts for sure. Especially, and I want to see them try to do this too against Jordan Davis, because he's been disruptive as a rookie. He's 6'6", 340-pound guy. And double team wear on him a little bit, misdirect, and come around, man, and see if we can pop some big plays.
That's what Coach Marv just talked about. Counter blocking helps with stiff defensive lines like Washington and Philly, giving them angles against their power. Exactly.
Yep.
And so, and we really trying to show y'all this stuff. We don't want to just talk about it because, the OC can explain it, but it's so much better when you see it, right? It's so much better when you can see. But now also add this. How many times did Kellen Moore do it these past 2 games?
Man, he did it once this past week. I don't remember the last week. Oh, I think once. He ran it once. Yeah, because he didn't run it the week previous. He didn't run the week previous. I think he was mad about something. I don't know, but he didn't run it, man. He didn't run it.
And somebody asked this question. They said, "Are we concerned about Jalen Tolbert development?" No, and they failing him. The system is failing him. Stephen Jones said himself that we put too much on his plate. Because remember, in Kellen Moore's system, everybody got to be able to read the defense. Now you...
Stomp.
Let me slow down.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because I want to show it. Because see, this is what Mike McCarthy was calling option routes. Okay?
Right.
This is what, option routes. See, we explaining this stuff, bro. Like, my boy said thank you, but we go take it a step further. We go show it, bro. Let me show you what Mike McCarthy was actually speaking on it. Hold on, I got it right here. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, and while you're putting that up, man, you normally want to build the playbook, not throw the full playbook at a rookie, because you want guys to play with speed and use their athletic ability. And the more you make anybody think, man, the worse it's going to be, especially when they're starting off and they don't have the NFL game experience and the game is already way faster than what they played in college. It's not going to work for them very well.
Right.
And an option route, man, you're trying to make him run full speed and read the NFL defense and get open.
Bro.
Versus basically giving him a dedicated route that he's going to run on this particular play, and then let him build from there. Let him perfect running his routes. Let him perfect disguising his routes. Let him perfect his releases. Let him perfect that stuff. Not running full speed and, okay, he played low, I got an option, I'm going high. He played high, okay, I'm going low, I'm going to break it off, I'm going to break it out. All that kind of stuff. That's too much.
It's too much.
That's too much, man.
And then they asked him to do it for all 3 positions. The Z, Y, and X. The Z, Y, and X.
That's ridiculous,
and
man.
Then you wonder why he's not on the field.
Because you're trying to make him do everything so he can't do anything. That's the issue. You're trying to force him to do everything, and then he's so overwhelmed he can't do anything good enough. He can't do anything good enough because he's trying to learn how to do everything really well.
Bro, check this out. And see, we're not making this up. We got the proof. We show receipts on this channel. Here we go.
A lot of great questions today, but this is my favorite. So we get to talk a little ball here. But no, I've never been a big option route thrower. concept in the past. If you're going to run option routes, you need to live in that world. That's been my experience. You can't dab on it. Option routes are really not part of the old traditional West Coast offense. I've had quarterbacks in the past that didn't really like them, and it's really about the connection that they have with the receiver. I've been in systems where only certain guys run them. This is the most aggressive system that I've been in as far as many people that do run the option routes, and so I think you see our commitment to practice. We practice it.
Yeah, and you have, in most cases, man, with guys that run option route effectively, you have guys that play together for years, and these are Pro Bowl level players, man, and they played together with the same quarterback and the same system for years, like a Jerry Rice and Steve Young, like a Michael Irving and a Troy Aikman, like they have a Devontae Adams and a Aaron Rodgers when he played for the Green Bay Packers, because they have such a relationship and a chemistry that they understand, if he does this, I'm gonna do this on this particular playing route. Other than that, I just think it's not. I don't think it's smart to do that, man. I'll just be honest with you. And I got to go in a little bit, boss, because Cowboy, I got about 5-10 more minutes.
Okay, cool. And my boss said option routes lead to miscommunication.
Yeah.
And the person before that said Toba would be fine. I agree. I think he will be fine. I think he's ready for this level. I think more and more, listen, OC, could you elaborate on that though? Why you think he gonna be fine?
Yeah, I think he'll be fine because he's a good athlete, man, and he's a fast player, and he knows how to catch. Like what he's shown on his film, Tolbert, he knows how to win one-on-one. Right? When you look at his film coming out of college, man, he knows how to win one-on-one. He can catch the ball. He got good hands. That's why you draft the guy, right? You didn't draft the guy to try to turn him into a chemist. And that's what they're trying to do, trying to turn this dude into a chemist, man. He's a wide receiver. Let the man play wide receiver. Don't try to turn him into a chemist. Let him do what he does. Let him win one-on-one and then compete for the ball on 50-50 balls, man, or break off his routes on patterns where you run, and I'll get into this, two-man route combinations to where you can run him short or you can run him long, right? You can run a 23, right? You can have him run a slant, have the inside receiver run a 3. It'll be a natural rub. He'll come open. Right? You can even run, let's do something real simple. You could even do something like a 78, right? Or, excuse me, 87. You can have the outside receiver running a post. You could have him in a slot, have him run a corner route. He's going to naturally come open. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those are route combinations. I just gave, and Marcus, you know this stuff because you Boss Cowboy, because you're a savant. But I'm saying these are simple route combinations. I just said, right? Very simple. That you could just implement and get people open. I mean, that's simple. Let them do that. Have them run every position, and then do an option route from every single position. It's like you're setting him up to fail. You're cutting off your nose to spite your face almost. It's like it doesn't make sense. You didn't draft him for that. You drafted him high, somewhat high. Get some production out of him. I don't know any other organization that does that kind of stuff. Maybe I'm misinformed because I could be, but I'm watching the league. I don't see they give these guys simplistic plays. They build them over time, and they let them just play. Let them play. Let them be an athlete.
Man, so well said. Coach Marv, he said, use like Quinn used Sam Williams. Find what he does well to let him build on the. See y'all on the same page. You know what I mean? That's the coaching background of you and Coach Marv. And it is simple. Right? And that's why Mike McCarthy in that clip was speaking against Kellen Moore. He said, I've never been forward. And he said this, I've never seen it run so aggressively as we do here.
Yeah, he's saying this is dumb. That was code for this is dumb.
Right.
that I've never seen, and he's been like a coach for 20 some odd years. He said, when I say I've never seen that, when anybody tells you I've never seen it done that way, it's like code word for like, I think this is really dumb, right? They're not telling you it's dumb, but that's what they're saying. It's dumb. Like, I don't get what you're doing. What you're doing is dumb.
So listen, y'all, as we promised, this is a series that we're doing. If you haven't checked out the first part of the series, go check it out. And that's where we actually first started with the film, showing the predictable nature of Kellen Moore's run attack versus the Washington Commanders, right? And we said we was gonna come back and build on the series with concepts that can be added to the one-dimensional nature of Kellen Moore's attack. Okay, so that's what we just did today. All right, so that's why we named this, and we gonna continue to push. Run outside the box. Think outside the box. Don't just run straight up into Philadelphia's tackles. Don't run directly to their strength. We giving you all type of options. We putting all type of options out there that you can add simply to your playbook. Install some of this stuff, and you can start having some pivotal drives. What we gonna talk about tomorrow, because we gonna close this one out. This gonna be a 3-part series. We gonna close this out tomorrow. We gonna really talk about that we are still headed in the right direction. But there's some temptation. OC won't probably make that one. That's gonna probably be me. But I
might make that one.
Oh, if you make that, it's good. If you make that's gonna be good, because I got a lot left that I want to talk about, but I ain't gonna be able to do it today to make the show too long. But it's gonna be the clues that we are truly, now y'all hear me out, man. It almost feel like God is with us or something, man, because we are getting so lucky. I'm telling you.
I like the music.
Bro, OC, we getting lucky, bro.
Yeah.
And we gonna show that tomorrow. We gonna show that tomorrow how all of this comes together, because it is coming together, and it started bad, y'all. It started bad, but believe me, it is way better than it was in the off season, and we gonna explain that tomorrow. OC, I know you gotta go, so man, go ahead and break them down with your final words and give me your final thoughts on this film session, as well as this whole thing that we breaking down on Kellen Moore running outside the box.
Yeah, man, guys, just stay with us, man. Follow Boss Cowboy Sports, man. We will be back with more content, man. We will give solutions. We go break it down and give you analysis only that you can get on this channel. Trust me, nobody does it quite like we do it, man. We got our own style and twist, man, and that's what makes us special, man. So don't forget to follow Boss Cowboy Sports on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Thank you for those of you guys that support the Cash App and that's put money into the Super Chat. We appreciate that, man. It really goes a long way. Don't forget, by the way, to hit that like button. All right, do not forget, right? Because you're watching, you guys. We got like 97 likes, man. It's like 150 people watching, man. So you guys hit that like button. Don't forget to share. Do not forget, man, to also comment, man. Let us know what you like about this video, how we can do better for you, all right? And so until next time, man, we'll see you guys.
And before we get all the way out of here, man, I didn't mean to cut off your... Share this video. This the video you need to share. I know you already said that, but I want to emphasize that. Share this one, bro. Because, see, this one is about real solution and concepts that can help our team, that other teams are doing. I ain't mean to cut you off. Do you have anything else, OC?
No, brother, we good, man. Salute, man. Y'all catch up with us, man, tomorrow, all right?
All right, see y'all tomorrow. Thanks, OC. Great job, man. OC be killing it.
Boss Cowboy Sports.
We so lucky to have
your
this dude,
voice
man. He a treasure to the
matters.
community. He really is. Thank y'all, man. Throw some fire in the chat before we get up out of here, man. Y'all show some love to Boss Cowboy Sports and OC. Very important show, man. Underrated show. Please share this one. And don't share this because you support us. Share this because you believe in the content. Like straight up. Share this one because you believe in the idea. Share this one because you can really see this making the team better. It's not just about Boss Cowboy Sports. This is about the Dallas Cowboys. Share this.
Boss Cowboy Sports.
Y'all stay up.